Cold plunges have taken over the internet. Ice baths, cold showers, expensive plunge tubs, and a flood of claims that cold water will burn your fat, spike your testosterone, sharpen your brain, and basically reverse aging. So today I want to cut through all of it and give you the honest, evidence-based version. What cold exposure genuinely does for your body, what it does not, and how to use it in a way that actually makes sense. Because there's real science here, it's just wrapped in a lot of hype. Let me start with what actually happens when you get into cold water, because the core effect is real and kind of remarkable. Within seconds to minutes, your body releases a big surge of a chemical called norepinephrine. We are talking an increase of 2 to 3 times your normal levels, sometimes more. Norepinephrine is both a stress hormone and a neurotransmitter, and that surge is responsible for the jolt of alertness, focus, and elevated mood that people describe after a cold plunge. That part is genuinely well documented. If you have ever stepped out of a cold shower feeling sharp and weirdly great, that's the norepinephrine talking. Now here's the part that connects to what we talk about on this channel, the mitochondria. When you are exposed to cold repeatedly, your body ramps up something called brown fat, or brown adipose tissue. And brown fat is fascinating. Unlike the ordinary white fat that stores energy, brown fat is absolutely packed with mitochondria, and its entire purpose is to burn energy in order to produce heat and keep you warm. On top of that, cold exposure can activate PGC1-alpha, the same master pathway your body uses to build new mitochondria. So on paper, cold looks like it could be a real tool for cellular energy and metabolic health. But this is exactly where I have to pump the brakes and be honest with you, because the gap between the mechanism and the proven results is wide. Yes, cold activates these pathways, but when researchers look for direct evidence that cold exposure actually increases mitochondrial content, improves long-term mitochondrial function, or delivers major health benefits in humans, that evidence is genuinely scarce. Most of what we have is molecular signaling data, short-term studies, and animal research. Promising but not proof. And some of the biggest claims simply don't hold up. Cold isn't a fat loss shortcut. Brown fat does burn some extra calories, but the amount is small, and studies consistently fail to show reliable fat or weight loss from cold exposure on its own. The popular idea that cold plunges boost your testosterone is also overstated. There's no good evidence of a lasting increase. So if you are getting into an ice bath mainly to melt fat or raise your hormones, the science doesn't really back that up. So what is cold exposure actually good for? 2 things stand out with decent evidence. The first, as we covered, is mood and alertness. That norepinephrine surge is real, and a lot of people find a cold shower is a genuinely effective way to feel more awake and clear-headed. The second is muscle recovery. Cold water immersion has been shown to reduce next-day muscle soreness after hard exercise, which is why athletes have used it for years. But that recovery benefit comes with one really important catch that most people do not know. And it ties directly into what we talked about yesterday with muscle. If your goal is building muscle or improving your endurance, you should not jump into cold water right after your workout. Here's why. The mild inflammation and stress your muscles experience after training is actually the signal that tells them to adapt and grow. Cold immersion blunts that signal. Studies show that regular post-workout cold plunging can reduce your long-term muscle and strength gains. So if you are lifting to build muscle, save the cold for rest days, or for at least several hours after you train. Use it for recovery when performance the next day matters, not right after a session you're trying to grow from. So where does a supplement like Mitochondrial fit into a conversation about cold? Honestly, only loosely, and I would rather tell you that than invent a connection. The one real link is that the mitochondrial pathway cold nudges, PGC1-alpha, is the same one Mitochondrial's PQQ has been researched for, alongside its CoQ10 that supports how your cells make energy. So they are both, in different ways, pointed at mitochondrial health. But cold is a modest tool, Mitochondrial is a modest tool, and neither one is a magic bullet. The real foundations, as always, are movement, sleep, and good food. And one genuinely freeing takeaway. You do not need a $1,000 plunge tub to get the accessible benefits. A cold shower at the end of your normal shower delivers most of the realistic upside for free. Cold exposure is a nice optional tool if you enjoy it, not a longevity requirement you are failing by skipping. Enjoy the cold for what it really does and skip the hype. Check the link in the description below to learn more about supporting your cellular energy with Mitochondrial. And if you appreciated the no-hype version, hit subscribe. Every week we break down the real cellular science of healthy energy in plain language you can use. We post every morning. I want to be fully transparent with you. The link in the description below is an affiliate link. I might earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. I only share what I genuinely think is helpful. This video is for educational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional before making changes to your diet or lifestyle.